Hello, in this video we're going to go over e-filing an amended tax return using the online program. Now, using the online program, there's two different ways you can go about e-filing an amended tax return. And which method you use will be determined by whether or not you had prepared and e-filed the original tax return. Now, let's start with our first method, and this one will be for those who did prepare and e-file the original tax return. So let's go to the client's return. So from the dashboard here, under the individual tab, I'm going to go over to clients on the left. And I'm going to double click on the client's name. All right, so now I'm on the client's managed return page where I can see that the return has been accepted. So to amend this tax return, I'm going to look over here towards the right under the Others box. And there is a link here that says File Amended Return. We're going to go ahead and click on this link here. And you will get a pop-up window. Are you sure you want to amend this return? Yes. Okay, now on this following screen here, you're going to see some details regarding the original return. That it was accepted, the refund amount. And we're going to scroll down a little bit to the middle section here where it says Amended Return. It has not been started, so we're going to click on this link here where it says File Amended Return. And for this page here, we're going to check the box that we need to file an amended federal return. If you do have any states with your return, you will see the states listed below, and you would want to check those if applicable. We're going to click on Save and Continue Return to proceed. Now, when you're in the amended return, you are looking directly at the 1040X. And so what you'll see on the screen is the layout of the 1040X. You'll have a correct amount column. In this column here, they will adjust accordingly to any changes that we make. So for this return, let's say we forgot to add some interest income. So let's go add that. So I'm going to use the locate box here, and I'm going to type in 1099 INT. And let's go add some interest. So I'm going to click on Add New. And just a moment while I enter the payer's details. All right, we'll put in some income. Let's just say there's $500. So now I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the screen and click on Save. Okay, so now that we have added our extra income that we missed on the original return, let's go take a look at the 1040X. And you can see that the correct amount column adjusted just by the income that I had entered. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you can see the changes that have been made. And if you need to add any more explanation, you can just add them down here on these lines. So I'm just going to put in a very short, simple message. Click on Save. And you don't have to if you don't want to. It's just there if you'd like. Now, because we can e-file this amended return, we do need to re-add the 8879. So I'm going to go to the form search, type in 8879, and let's go here and complete this once again. You want to fill it out just like you normally would. So I'm going to check my boxes, enter my PIN, and I'm going to press Save. All right, so now we can see down here in the forms the 8879 is attached. Okay, so going to the top of the page, since everything has been entered and the 8879 has been entered, we need to do our Verify and Complete. So I'm going to click on Verify up here at the top. And there are no errors found in the federal return. If there were any, they would be listed here, and you want to get those taken care of first before we proceed. So I'm going to close out of this. I'm going to click on Complete. And for our amended tax return, we must mark the return as completed and reviewed to be able to electronically file this return. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Save and Redirect to Manage Returns so I can get this amended return e-filed. All right. Now that we're back here on the Manage Return screen, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the page under Payment and e-file Details. Now, the thing with the amended returns are you are not required to complete client payment. You can add an extra invoice for the amended return, but you do not have to. We're going to go directly here to Transmit Now. So we're going to click on this button, and we're going to go to the following page regarding e-filing our federal 1040 return. Well, all we need to do is check this box, and then you're going to have two options here. You can Transmit Now, which immediately sends this return, and then you can also click on Add to Queue, which puts it off to the side for you to batch e-file that at a later time. So what we can do now is go ahead and hit Transmit Now. And once you're back here to the Client's Manage Return page, you can see under the details that this e-file has been queued. It has been sent to the IRS, and now we're just waiting to hopefully receive an acceptance. Now, the second method of e-filing an amended return in the online program is for those who did not prepare and e-file the original return. So, when you're logged into your software looking at the dashboard, under the Individual tab, we're going to click on Clients over on the left. And on the following screen, we're going to click on New Return. Alright, so let's enter some dummy information here real quick. And under Select the Return Type section, it's very important that you select the option here, Form 1040X. And then we're going to click on Save and Continue to proceed. Alright, now what we are looking at here is the Form 1040X. What we want to do first is we want to actually go fill out the personal information section. So I'm going to scroll up, click on Personal Information, and I'm going to enter the taxpayer details. So just a moment while I enter this. All right, so let's scroll to the bottom. Let's click on Save. All right, and one thing you will also have to go through is the additional info. Depending on your state, this might not be required. I know our software will ask you about it, so I'm just going to go ahead and complete this page as well. All right, so let's go ahead and add our income. Let's put in a W-2. All right, W-2 has been entered, and we will press Save. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the 1040X, and very important, the very first option question here on the top of the page, was your original federal return e-filed and accepted? You must say yes to this question. If you do not say yes, you will not be able to e-file this amended tax return. So we're going to change this to yes, and if we look down below, we're going to need to fill in the original amount column here for the 1040X so it can do its proper calculations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put in some random numbers here. I know these aren't right, but you'll just want to take the original 1040 and take these numbers directly off that form and plug them in here, because this is just a sample return I'm creating. Obviously these won't be accurate. All right, and if anything else applies, you want to complete those as well. So what I'm going to do down here, let's just say that on the original return there was a $500 refund. And again, I know that's not right, but this is just to show you this example here. All right, so I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and I'm going to make some changes. Let's say corrected W2. I'm going to explain my changes, and once everything's been entered, I'm going to press save. All right, so now that information has been updated. So because we can e-file this now, we do need to attach the 8879 to the return. So I'm going to go to form search. I'm going to type in 8879, and I need to uncheck this box. So now I'm going to put in the information, generate a PIN, and put in the current date. And it was a little off there. Let's get that fixed. There we go. All right. So now the 8879 has been entered. I've hit save. If we look down here under forms, it is in place now. So let's say we've got everything entered into this return. We are now ready to file it. So what I will need to do, I will need to click on verify up here to run a diagnostic on the return to make sure I didn't miss anything. So let's do that very quickly. All right, so no errors have been found in the federal return. If there were any errors, they'd be listed here, and it would guide you where you can go to correct those errors. But since there are none, we're going to close this window. And our next option here is to complete. All right, so we're going to mark this return as completed. We're going to say yes to marking this return as reviewed, and we're going to leave this option here to electronically file. All right, once our selections have been made, we're going to press on save and redirect. All right, so now here we are back out on the client's manage return screen. So what we need to do now is we do need to complete the client payment for this return. So we're going to scroll down to the bottom, and we're going to need to start payment, and we're going to add new invoice. Now, depending on your pricing setup, you may see a different page. I've selected the manual charge, so I will be brought here, and I'm just going to put in a value. If you've done the per form or the fixed price, you will see a different screen. But you will then be taken to the summary, where then you'll have an option to enter if they are going to pay by cash, check, or money order. No refund transfers or bank products can be used on amended returns at this time. But once we've made our selections, we're going to click on Save and Continue. And we can see our amended payment has been entered up at the top. So down at the bottom, we're going to click on Back to Manage Returns. And if we scroll down, we now see that our Transmit Now button is available. So we're going to go ahead and click on Transmit Now. And we're going to check the box for the Federal 1040 amended return. We're ready to e-file. And just like before, we're going to click on Transmit Now to send immediately. Add to queue is the option to where you can put it off to the side to batch e-file at a later time. But we are ready to go. We're going to go ahead and click on Transmit Now. And now, as you can see back here on the client's manage return screen, the return has been queued. We're waiting for the IRS to pick it up and hopefully accept it. And that is how you can e-file an amended tax return using the online program.